Hi everyone, and welcome to this new venture. My name is Nabule and I'll be your host. We're getting into a new venture of reviewing books. Why? Because that's part of how we grow. In books we get wisdom, we get knowledge, and we get the opportunity to explore the vastness of the actualities of what we can become in this universe. And so we shall be reviewing books one by one, non-fictional books. And just for purposes of making this a habit, we are going to begin with this book over here, Atomic Habits, pun intended. So before we delve into the review, I'm going to thank you for coming into this page and finding our content relevant. If you are a returning subscriber, make sure you click on that notification button so that every time I post a review, you see it. And if you're coming here for the very first time, remember to subscribe so that you can always be getting content that can help you grow, it can help you develop. So, Atomic Habits. In 2018, a man by the name James Clear wrote this book. And it's very interesting because he tried to summarize for us the science and psychology of habit formation. When I'm talking about habit formation, clearly I'm talking about the positive habits that we want to form that can make us grow and develop. And it is in this book that he gives some practical strategies that can actually help us create habits and gain a new identity through the habits we have made. Important is to realize that habits are these small routines that we can create to massively improve our lives and clearly get better results and hit our goal, which is growth. So first things first, you need to understand what success means to you. Does success mean financial freedom for you? Does it mean getting that college degree? Does it mean getting that job? Does it mean saving $10,000 by the end of the year? Does it mean building that dream house? Does it mean repairing that broken relationship you have with some neighbor or even a family member? That needs to be clearly defined and clear for you. What exactly do you want to do? What is your goal and what is success? Number two, you need to ask yourself, how do I get there? And this shall be very important for us because mostly we only focus on the goal, but we don't focus on the strategies and steps that can help us get to that goal. You have to realize that both winners and losers normally have the same goal, but it's only the winners who hit it. Question is why? The answer lies in the systems and strategies they use. And now this is where James Clear comes with 4 components in habit formation. Any habit you want to form, it has to pass through these 4 stages, and the quicker you understand that, the easier it will be for you to form habits that can help you grow, that can help you transform your life. These 4 components are cue, craving, reward, and response. So I'll get into them in that order. First and foremost, we have cue. So a cue is basically a trigger signal that initiates the habit. It can be a place, it can be a time, it can be a person, it can be certain location, certain environment, some sort of condition that will trigger you to initiate an action. And so what's important here is to make the cue as obvious as possible. Step number 2, we have craving. Craving is basically that motivation that follows that cue. So the cue is a certain location, let's say the gym, which you have to make as obvious as possible. So the craving will be the motivation that follows that, the motivation to work out. And environment actually influences our desires a lot. But James Clear says that the good part and the good news about this is that we should try the best we can not to be the victims of the environments we are in, but to be the designers of the environments we are in. What do I mean? You want to be a musician and learn how to play that guitar, alright? Take that guitar, put it in the middle of your living room so that whatever direction you walk into your house from, you'll always see that guitar. And that guitar will motivate you to be that musician you want to be. Number 3, we have the response. So we got cue, we got craving, and we get a response to this craving. And now, what is this response? The response is the actual habit, the actual action that you undertake. And James Clear says you have to make it as realistic as possible. Be pragmatic. You want to build muscle or to lose body weight, don't begin by running 42 kilometers when you've never even run for only 1 kilometer. You have to make it as realistic and pragmatic at first, because if you don't make it pragmatic, you'll lose it on the 3rd day or the 5th day, or even on the 1st day. And what's important here is to remove any friction or required steps to the response, alright? So if you want to be jogging in the morning or to be working out in the morning, first of all, you have to make sure you have slept early the previous night. And you also have to make sure that you've set your gears ready for the morning so that when you wake up, you get directly into that habit. You don't wake up and begin, now that's the time you want to begin setting up your gear. That's the time when you want to begin setting up a playlist for jogging. No, remove any friction as much as you can to the response, to the habit, to the action. You need to realize that at this first stage and on the first days, it takes a lot of discipline. So what you need to do is to shut up and build that. Now, number 4 and the final component to habit formation is the reward. And this reward is the desired outcome that you all want. So James Clear says that you have to make it as satisfying as possible. We only repeat what we enjoy, so make sure the reward is as enjoyable as possible. And your reward might be long-term, alright? You want to make $10,000 by the end of the year. Now, that's a long period, and that's quite some good amount of money, if at all you're starting from a lesser amount. And this is where tracking your habits come in. So you need a visual representation of how you're progressing, right? So get those charts, get those calendars, get those journals, and track your progress, because that short-term reward will keep motivating you to go back. And by the end of the year, you'll find that you've had this long-term reward by simply tracking and noticing the short-term feedback. I'll end from there by this favorite line of mine from this book. James Clear says that we do not rise to the level of our goals, but we actually fall to the level of our systems. It's simple. Don't be goal-oriented, but be process-oriented, because it's in those little changes of behavior and habit that you actually get a new identity and long-term positive results. So don't focus on the goal too much. Just set the goal and focus on the system that can help you achieve that goal. It's been quite a good time. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll meet in the next book. Thank you and see you.